Slightly was kind of not all the way quite ready yet. My bad. I try to be trying to have the music in the background ready for y'all. That's a little bit too low. Boom, I'm back. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Today was definitely a rough day. We about to get right into it. But anyway, if you're new here, welcome. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and turn those post notifications on so that you can be on time for every single cousin car walk sit down session. Be on time for the kinfolk link up. Why? Because this is where it's at, and this is where you want to be. Period. So, cousins, if you have not been keeping up with the accountability posts, first things first, let's get into that. I said all I wanted for my birthday for my YouTube cousins was 1,000 subscribers, 1,000 watch hours, and to see, meet, and party with Caitlin for real on my birthday at the Never Lose You tour in Houston, right? Y'all, we hit 1,000 subscribers. No, not yet. Go ahead. Let's just put it out there. But no, not yet. We did hit 1,000 watch hours, 1,068.25 or something like that watch hours. So I want to thank you so much for helping me accomplish that goal. For whatever reason, for some strange reason, maybe I looked at a video from like the old algorithm, but I really thought that I had to have 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers to get monetized, when I just found out that it's actually 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers. So we still hit the goal, and I'm extremely excited about that. So that's like a little bit of the housekeeping done and out of the way. And we're going to hop right into today's video. As you can tell by the title, we're going to be talking about how to pack for a travel assignment. So let's get right into it. I hope you guys' day is going really great. Sorry, I'm a little parched. Okay. So I hope you're having a wonderful day. If not, I hope this live makes your day better. If you feeling like it is already, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash that thumbs up button, and turn on those post notifications so you can be on time for every single cousin car walk, sit down session. Be on time for the kinfolk link up. Why? Because this is legit where it's at and where you want to be. Period. So, when you are packing for a travel assignment, it is extremely important that you keep a couple of things in mind. First things first, let's talk about the time of year that it is, where you're going, and how long you're going to be there. If it's in the wintertime, you want to make sure you have long sleeve shirts, scrub shirts, jackets, sweatshirts, whatever. You want to make sure that you're nice and warm. I took an assignment in the mountains of Ohio, Pennsylvania, on the borderline of Ohio. And when I tell y'all, baby, it was cold. Even earlier this year when I was in San Francisco, it was cold for California, which was mind-blowing to me because not obviously, but I'm from the East Coast. I was raised in the East Coast. I grew up over in the East Coast. So their cold in SF in the Bay Area is completely different from Baltimore cold. And then in New Mexico, again, not really having much time or having spent much time in my hands mad ashy, y'all. Having not spent that much time in the Midwest, I was completely shocked when I got to New Mexico and I got off the plane And it's cold outside. I'm like, bro, what is going on? Like, I had on 2 hoodies, 2 pairs of sweatpants. Like, your girl was cold, and I was not prepared for it. So I would definitely recommend checking the weather app for wherever you are going, especially during the colder months of the year, ergo spring and winter. Sometimes, like that cusp, that sprinter, that's what I like to call it, that cusp of winter, spring, that little thing right there, I like to call that sprinter. So if you're traveling during the sprinter, spring, winter months, please make sure you check the weather for where you're going so that way you can pack accordingly. Now, I am seeing a little bit more in the groups that some people are having a little bit of having a discrepancy with their facilities once they arrive to their assignment, and they're requiring them to cover up their tattoos. One of the things that I recommend for that are the detachable sleeves or compression sleeves, and you might be able to find those at your local sporting goods store, Amazon, Walmart, and places like that. I, however, in my 10 years of experience, have never been asked to cover up my tattoos. Most of my tattoos are on the upper portion of my arm anyway, and they're not like offensive or questionable or like triggering or anything like that. But yeah, somebody did bring that up, so I want to make sure, reiterate that if you're traveling during the colder months of the year, that you have something to keep you warm, and if you have tattoos that may be a little bit questionable, you want to make sure. Hey there, how are you? Welcome to the Cousin Walk. Hey, I hope you're having a great day. Let me know where you're watching from. You want to make sure that if you have tattoos or something like that, that you get the detachable sleeves to cover them up. Or you can get another long sleeve shirt from like Walmart or Target or something like that, and just put your scrub shirt on over top of that. Or you can get a lab jacket and just wear that, when you're walking in the hallways, and once you get into the patient or the resident's room, you can remove it. But for me, personally, I would rather just get the detachable sleeves. That way I can take them on and off as I please in between patient care, as well as if I'm just chilling in the break room or I have some downtime and I'm just chilling in a resident's room, I can take them off. It's a whole lot easier than having on multiple layers of clothing. So when you're packing for a travel assignment, you definitely want to make sure that you're aware of the weather for wherever you're going. And even if it's somewhere you've already been, with global warming and the way things are changing, you just want to make sure, like, you literally never know. Like here in Maryland, we get all 4 seasons in one day. And the same thing happens in... Yes, okay. Welcome from North Carolina. I love that. I have family in Rockingham and in Charlotte. I love to see where all my cousins are viewing from. Welcome to the Cousin Walk. So, even if it's somewhere that you've been before, you would hate to be caught off guard. Some place, like, weather hits different everywhere, especially like in the southern states and in the west. Okay, where you gonna be traveling to? And that's right before my birthday. I'm so excited. Where you gonna be traveling to? So you want to... I'm sorry, y'all. I was like, what the heck is going on? It's just the way the pants are on my legs. I was like, did my knee dislocate? But yeah, you want to make sure that you're prepared for the weather. Again, that's going into the location. You need to know what's going on in that area. Do they have more rainfall during this time of year? Is it more windy? Is it more sunny? Is it always sunny in Philadelphia? Who knows? Well, the people who live there know. But that just goes to show you how old I am. If you don't know what that show is, wow, you're going to be in Charlotte? That's what's up. That's lit. That's lit. Congratulations. Is this your first assignment, or are you like experienced? Are you new to the game? The next thing, as it pertains to traveling, right, and when you're packing, how long? Yes, you should be super excited. Is it your first assignment? I can definitely relate to the nerves, though. Oh, it's gonna be great. Listen, make sure you tune in every Wednesday. Not next Wednesday though. I have something that I have to attend to next Wednesday, but definitely make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and watch everything in my How to Be a Travel CNA series. And cousin, I'm right here with you. Make sure you follow me across the social media platforms, real life plug as well, and you can get some of my CNA humor, and it'll keep you motivated and encouraged throughout your assignment. But that's cool though. You're gonna still be close to home though. I mean, that's a little bit of a drive, a little bit of a commute. Yes, thank you so much for your support. It's a little bit of a commute, but you're not that far from home. It's gonna be, everything is gonna be super, super fine. So this is actually a video that you might. Oh, you are? That's what's up. Lit. What's your niche? Like, what do you talk about on your channel? Y'all make sure that when you're watching the playback of this, you subscribe to her channel as well. Just tap on her name, and I'm pretty sure the subscribe option will come right up underneath. What was I about to say? Right. You gonna stay in Charlotte for your assignment, or you gonna be commuting back? Oh, you saying that you wanna stay in Charlotte? Okay. So, location, packing, right? If you're gonna be staying far away from home or like traveling outside of the state, and you're packing, okay, Liddy, for sure, for sure. So when you're packing to travel, like you're driving to your assignment and you're driving your own car, maybe you're getting a rental or a U-Haul or whatever means of transportation you're using on the road, that's perfectly fine. You can pack your car out to the max. Now, if you're traveling on a plane, like I prefer to travel, then there are just a few there's actually a big difference. Number one, obviously you're gonna have to pay baggage fees. I hate paying baggage fees. So sometimes what I will do is I will either pack a tote box on the side or pack another suitcase that after I've been working for a while, I can have somebody send it to me. Or like the first 2 weeks, I just pack what I need to hold me down or hold me over for 2 weeks. And then once I get to my assignment, that's when I buy everything else that I need. I hate, oh my gosh, like y'all, I hate having too many extra bags in the airport or traveling any other way. Like I just do not like having a whole bunch of, I have a lot of stuff with me, but I don't like having a lot of stuff with me because I'm a single traveler. So I feel like it just makes me a target. Like people are just gonna be looking at me like, look at this lady with all this stuff. Plus, like, not to see my own horn, but your girl looks good. So if I see me in public and I see me struggling with some bags, I'm gonna wanna holler at me and see if I need some help with some bags. But also being me, I'm gonna be like, nah, bruh, what are you doing? Leave me alone. So I just don't like to have a whole lot of stuff with me when I'm traveling by myself. But if I'm traveling in my car, pack it down. You feel me? I actually did a short tutorial, not a tutorial, but a short video about this earlier in the channel when we were in New Mexico. So if you scrolling through the vlogs or the episodes, you're trying to figure out how to or trying to figure out where in the How to Be a Travel CNA series it's when we were in New Mexico. So one of the things that I definitely recommend when you're traveling on the plane, if you can just pack the bare minimum for what you need for the first week, 2 weeks, or whatever the case may be, do so. But if you're a single traveler and you're single like me and you're traveling by yourself, I would just recommend trying to limit the amount of things that you have to carry and take with you. So like if you get to your hotel and they don't have like a stove or an oven for you to use, then I would recommend going to the thrift store and getting a hot plate or some pots and pans or something like that. I wouldn't recommend getting like a whole $50-$70 pots and plates set because this is just an assignment. Unless you're going to extend your assignment or you're going to continue traveling and you have the space in your car to keep the pots and pans and a hot plate, I would just go to the thrift store and purchase those things. Now, not everything. Some things. Cups, plates, cutlery, you get the plasticware. You go Family Dollar, Dollar General, Amazon Prime. When I first started traveling, like, I don't know why, but it never clicked in my mind to get or utilize Amazon Prime for the things that I needed. But that might be something that you might want to invest in if you don't already have it. But keep in mind that when you're going to like a more rural area or more rural town, their Amazon Prime might only come once a week, once or twice every 2 weeks. I've lived places where it's legitimately like that. So you want to keep in mind that where you're going, you might not have accessibility to certain things that might seem like everyday use or just like common use. You might be going to the middle of nowhere, Alabama, and they don't have that. Like, for me, I was about to say one thing, but some people be like, well, how are you? And you, let me think about something real quick. Like, right, say they didn't have this particular, because they didn't give me a promo. So say they didn't have this particular soap in the store that I like to use, right? Or the Walmart in the area that I'm going to doesn't carry it. I would just order it on Amazon Prime in bulk, or go to like Sam's Club or Costco's or something like that. And if you're able to and you have family, you can leave it at home, pack it up in a box, put the money for the shipping with it. Don't be like that. Get them people the money for the shipping, and then once you get to your stay or wherever you're going to be for your assignment, they can just send it to you. Or something else that I do is I empty out the contents of this bottle. I buy multiple of these bottles and I pour them in gallon-sized Ziploc bags, and I double lock my Ziploc bags. And then when I get there, I just order like a little travel size. I have none of this stuff ready right now, but I just order like a little travel size bottle for me to pour it into or squeeze it into for the sake of being able to use it. You know what I'm saying? And I do the same thing with my suitcases. If I know I'm going to be gone for a while and I don't have anybody to hold my stuff for me, I will double, triple Ziploc a bag with soap inside of it, panty liners, pads, whatever I can compress and put in a Ziploc bag, baby, or the Sheen bag is going in the Sheen bag. It's going in a Ziploc bag. If you're traveling in your car, again, you can just pack your car down, put everything in there that you absolutely positively need. But I am more of the kind that just likes to get what I need once I get there. It doesn't make sense to like travel around with all of that stuff, especially if you're a single woman, you have a nice looking car, or a car period. You might be going to a little questionable area. You know what I'm saying? So you might not want to leave all your worldly possessions in your car, okay? So that covers the location, the duration. If you're going to be gone for 6 to 8 weeks, which I don't really see a lot of those types of contracts anymore, you can just if you're going to be gone for 6 to 8 weeks, I don't see a lot of those contracts anymore. More often than not, you're able to keep at least 4 or 5 weeks worth of stuff in your suitcase and ready for you to use if you're using a larger suitcase. But if you're taking my earlier advice, you might want to pack it on the side. You might want to go ahead and pay that baggage fee, okay? So, I'm sorry, y'all. I left my notes. I was trying very hard to keep up with the notes, but I forgot to transcribe them from my phone to a piece of paper. So I'm trying to go off the top of my head. So location, duration, and what was the other one? Location, duration. We covered weather. How long? Well, we already covered the duration of the assignment. My mind is just going blank. Is there anything that y'all can think of that you would like to know? Oh, for my melanated cousins, please keep in mind that everybody's hair store where you're going is not going to be like the hair store where you live. It's not going to be like your hood hair store, your local hair store. More often than not, you're going to see like Sally's, Supercuts, big franchises like that, and they're not going to cater to our crowns. So you need to make sure that you either have a way to access those things by packing them with you or having someone send them to you. And again, that's the same thing with Amazon Prime. You never really know what type of location you're going to be in, so that might not necessarily be the most reliable place or way for you to have access to the items that you need. So like your gel, your edge control, bundles, braiding hair. Listen, if Job Corps actually taught me that more than being a travel CNA, is that as a Black woman, they are not going to have everything I need everywhere I go. So I need to make means and ways for me to get the things that I need when I'm in a place that they don't have it. So recently I was in New Mexico. My hair was not done by a professional the entire time I was in New Mexico. So if you joined me in New Mexico, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you joined the channel before New Mexico, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And now that I'm home in Baltimore, my birthday is in 2 weeks. So that's why my hair is not done right now. I'm waiting for the B-Day. Oh, So yeah, I'm just waiting for my birthday to get my hair done. But if you don't know how to do your hair, I recommend getting your hair done. That's what I was talking about. The things that we take for granted at home versus being on the road. Hair stores, accessibility to things that we're used to having, such as hair stores or a hairstylist. And that whole look it up on Instagram, type it in the search engine, it's not always a guarantee. Even when I was in California, whenever I was in California, I can't remember, it took me about 3 weeks to find a hairstylist, and I finally found one, and Ariane did her thing with it. I wish I could just pop the picture up right here, but I can't. So just make sure you follow me on all the other social media platforms, real life plug. And if you haven't done so already, please make sure you smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. We are on the road to 1K. I would absolutely positively love to hit 1,000 subscribers by my birthday. That would just be clutch. But anyway, so accessibility to the things that we need or that we take for granted. So we got the hair stores. Let's talk about groceries. Let's get into the groceries, y'all. And I more so learned this when I was in Miami doing post-op recovery than recently. Excuse me, I got like indigestion or something. It's probably not Chipotle. So groceries. Every region, every area of the country does not have the same groceries. Some things are seasonal, some things are year-round. When I'm in Miami doing post-op recovery, there are pineapples year-round, mangoes year-round, strawberries, all your citrusy fruits. I can have access to all of those things year-round in Florida. But when I go to New Mexico, when I go to Atlanta, when I'm at home in Baltimore, I'm only getting pineapples in pineapple season, cherries in cherry season, and citrusy fruits in citrusy fruit season. It's not going to be like that everywhere you go. Each region of the country has its own schedule that it works and operates on. And unfortunately, that's not something that we can always control. Like I was talking to a coworker the other day, yesterday, because yesterday was my first day. Like what? So I was talking to a coworker, and she was telling me that she paid $6.99 per pound for some shrimp. I said, sis, what? $6.99 per pound for some shrimp? Are you crazy? When I was in Miami, I was paying at the most, like, and this is a stretch. At the most, I was paying $3.99 per pound for some shrimp. So I was eating shrimp like every day. I was eating good in that recovery house because I can get everything year-round in Miami, and it's fresh, and it's right there by one of the ports. But in New Mexico, I could get some fresh avocados year-round. I could get some strawberries for that time of the year. I mean, it was the winter time, so that's not really strawberry season, or at least I don't think it is. Strawberries is all right, but they pineapples, if I could find a mango, no. Avocados, great. Potatoes, great. Onions, great. I'm West Indian, Caribbean. I like citrusy things. Where's the fruit? So that's something that you want to keep in mind when you're taking travel assignments is this place going to allow me to continue to live the lifestyle that I like or that is best for me? What is the food area like I can't think of the word. Like I know in our city we have food deserts, which means there's not accessibility to food for miles around. So what is the opposite of that? Some places have an oversaturation of groceries and food options. That's great. So when you don't have that and you're in a food desert, how does that affect your diet? How does that affect your lifestyle? Are you a gym rat? Do you like being in the gym? Is that like something that is mandatory for you? Like you have to have that structure, you have to have that discipline. That's something to think about when you're taking your travel assignment. Like, okay, they might be getting ready to pay me $60 an hour, but on the flip side, there's only one McDonald's, one movie theater, a half a shopping center, and absolutely no mall. So while they're paying me all of this money, I now have to travel to other cities or other parts of the state to get the things or maintain the lifestyle that I need to live or whatever accommodates me, right? So even if it's something as maybe you live a bare minimum lifestyle and you don't need entertainment, you don't need entertainment from the outside world. But think about if your facility and your stay is 50 miles away from the closest airport or the closest hospital. Those types of things that you want to think about when taking your travel assignment. Most importantly for me, outside of entertainment, is the accessibility to healthcare options or like emergency care options. If there's not an ER in the town, and I mean like super close proximity, I'm not working that assignment, period. Because I have health complications that require me to be able to get to a doctor or to some type of medical care immediately. Which is why I always tell y'all, take the benefits that are offered to you in your assignment because you're paying for them anyway. Regardless of whether or not you sign it on that paper, you're paying for the health insurance anyway. You're paying for the benefits anyway. So you might as well sign the paper and take them. Because if something happens, and you live in, let's just talk about where I am. You live in Baltimore and you're in Roswell, New Mexico. Your health insurance is not covering you. You're out of the network coverage. You're outside of the network. Yeah, that's what it's called. You're out of coverage. You don't have coverage in New Mexico. So now, what would have cost you a $250 copay, maybe a $50 for the ER visit, maybe a $50 copay for your medicine. And if that's your copay, you might want to reconsider some new options. But maybe a $300 visit to the ER versus going to in Baltimore versus going to the ER in New Mexico is now $6,000. Actually, let me tell y'all a true story. I just got a call yesterday talking about I owe a hospital $6,000 for a visit. You a lie. I had health insurance. I don't know why y'all think that I'm about to pay you this $6K from a doctor's appointment 2 years ago, but I also had health insurance then, and we're going to figure this out. Accidents happen. Anything can happen, especially in this post-COVID society. Anything can literally happen. So you want to make sure that you have access to the amenities that make your life easy. Maybe you like the bowl. Maybe you want to be a part of a bowling league, and bowling is life. Like ball is life. Maybe you're a semi-professional football player and you have to be in a league because you're going to get signed to the draft next year. Then you need to be in an area that has that for you, okay? Maybe you do lashes on the side. Maybe you do makeup on the side and you want to stay within your demographic. Roswell, New Mexico is definitely the place for that. But the middle of nowhere, Tallahassee might not be the place for that. It might not. Or you want to continue your education and there are no accredited nursing. Yes, ma'am. Take the insurance option. Always take it. Even if you have your own independent health insurance, which is something that we're going to get into after my birthday. So even if you have your own independent health insurance, I would still always recommend taking the health insurance option that is offered with your contract because I don't know how to say this without giving out too much information because I'm on both sides of the nurse's station. When you don't take the insurance offered to you by your agency, it removes the liability from them. When you take it, it makes them have to be responsible to make sure that you're okay. If you don't take the insurance and you get hurt on the job and you don't have short-term or long-term disability or insurance, then when you get hurt on the job, there's no way to make them pay you. But no, get both. Get both. If you go through an independent insurance company, there is such thing as travel insurance, travelers insurance. Get that and take the insurance that's offered to you by your agency. Because if you get hurt, your agency pays you and your insurance company pays you, okay? And then depending on the severity of your injury, you might still be able to work. You might not be able to work. You might have to do a side hustle. You might be able to chill. It just depends. But there's nothing wrong with having multiple coverage, okay? And then your independent insurance company might not offer all of the things that your agency offers, or your agency might not offer coverage for all of the things that your independent insurance company offers. As well as the insurance that comes with your agency only covers you while you're on that assignment. Your independent insurance, you pay that year round, so that way whenever you're traveling, you have coverage. For sure, for sure. Um, so accessibility to health care options is a very big thing for me. Maybe you're big on self-love. Maybe you need to absolutely positively got to be slayed, crown got to be sitting up high, and you don't know how to do that yourself. You might need to stay in an area that has stylists that specialize in your hair texture, your hair kind. Again, I was in Roswell, New Mexico. My hair was not done the entire time. Like, I mean, I did my own hair, I did my own blowouts, but nobody else did my hair. It had got to a point where I walked up to the hair salon in Walmart and I was like, hey, does anybody in here do 4C hair? Y'all do my texture hair? They like, no. Cool. Didn't think so. Even if y'all just washed my hair and I did the rest, that's fine. But nobody even did that in the store. We talked about grocery options. We talked about fitness, lifestyle, entertainment. Whatever your thing is, you want to make sure that you're accepting an assignment in an area, excuse me, that has access to those things, either in close proximity or within that Tri-City area. In New Mexico and Roswell, we had to go all the way to Albuquerque to go turn up and have fun. 3 hours away. Closest airport, major airport, 3 hours away. Roswell has its own airport, but it's super small and it doesn't have a lot of flights coming in and out of it. And it's always more expensive to fly into smaller airports than it is larger ones. So let's see. Accessibility, location, duration. Does anybody have any questions before we move on to the next part of the live? Yeah, I've been practicing my TikTok dances. I hope I'm gonna see y'all at the conventions because I want to TikTok with y'all. So y'all better practice y'all dances. If you didn't know, that's something else. Let's get into that very quickly. There are several conferences happening this year specifically for travel nurses. What? There are several conferences specifically happening this year for travel nurses, CNA, travel medical professionals. The first one coming up that I can think of off the top of my head is the CNA Travelers Convention. It is happening this June in Omaha, Nebraska. If you just type in CNA Travelers Convention in Facebook search engine, Google search engine, it will pop right on up. But I do believe that it is happening July the 8th, 12th through that weekend. It's like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday type situation. That's going on in Omaha, Nebraska. And then in September, my favorite and the biggest, most litest travel convention, I think like ever, is TravCon. TravCon is super, super litty, and no, I do not have a sponsorship with them. I don't have a sponsorship with CNA Travelers Convention yet. I don't have a sponsorship with TravCon yet, but I had such a great time at TravCon last year. I'm telling every single medical professional that I know about it, especially my CNA cousins. I want to see y'all at TravCon, man. Like, we got to stand up. Like, we got to represent our gang. The RNs come out heavy. The LPNs come out heavy. Allied Health comes out heavy. Physical therapist is there. Occupational therapy is there. Where are the CNAs? I want to see y'all at TravCon this September in Las Vegas on the Strip at the Paris Hotel and Casino. And I definitely would love to see y'all at the CNA Travelers Convention in Omaha, Nebraska, hosted by the beautiful and the intelligent Della. Yes, y'all, give it up for her. I'm super proud of Della. Della does a lot of things. Like, at first I thought Della was just, she just did the CNA Travelers Convention notebook and ran the Facebook group. But as I've connected with her across the social medias, I see that she does a lot of things. This woman is super talented, and everything she does, she puts 120% into it. So I want to support that. I want to be a part of that. And of course, It's a black woman. Got to hold it down. That's us. You know what I'm saying? And if you are not one of us, but you still are one of us as a travel medical professional, we would love to see you at the CNA Travelers Convention. Again, this is not a sponsorship. This is not a paid promotion, but I do definitely believe that if you're getting into the travel game in 2022, that there are some tools and some information that you need to know how to enhance your travel game. During the height and the peak of COVID, we was making money. We was making money, you know what I'm saying? And now that things have kind of decreased a little bit, have slowed down a little bit, how do you still make bank as a travel CNA in a post-COVID world? How do you still make bank as a travel medical professional when they're putting caps on the pay, when they're capping agency pay, when they're trying to cap nursing pay? How do you survive as a medical professional, but more specifically as a travel medical professional, when there are things literally being set up to set us up for failure or to work 3 times harder than we already work? How do we make that work for us in this day and age? And the way that you do that is by supporting the people who have blazed the trail for us already, by attending these conferences, by joining their Facebook groups, by liking and commenting and sharing. Simply by supporting across the social medias, you are supporting the trailblazers, you are supporting our community, and that's really what it's about. If you're a brand new CNA, a seasoned CNA, an OG CNA, LV and LP and RN, nurse practitioner, OBGYN, whoever you are in the nurse, well, OBGYNs are not nurses, but as a nurse or in the nursing profession, we should be supporting each other. Even if you can't afford to attend the conference, just share the status, share the information. In most of my circles and in my neighborhood and in my communities, I am the only travel CNA people know. They didn't even know that CNAs could travel. Everybody knows about travel nursing. People know that CNAs exist, but for every single position there is in the medical field, you can travel and do it. So you might be that light, that information, that pillar in your community that will show somebody else how to get it done. And it might not even be for you. It could be for your cousin, your baby mama, your ex's boyfriend, current girlfriend that's stalking your page from his page. She could want to be a travel CNA too. And you don't even know it. And you just help somebody else secure the bag. And if that's not the type of energy you on, then this is probably not the page, the channel, or the cousin walk for you. Because that's what we do around here. We circulate information. We circulate black dollars. We circulate black wealth and excellence around here. Specific, particular focus on that. While we do embrace all cultures, all people of all walks of life, specifically my melanated people, we have a specific tailored focus on supporting one another, uplifting one another, and educating one another. And that is part of the reason why I started this Travel CNA series, is to do exactly that. So that's going to help me transition into the next part of this live, which is a little bit of a sensitive topic for our profession. But I definitely believe that with what I have going on personally, I would be doing myself a dishonor. And honestly, you all, a few of you have asked me what's going on. You guys are following me across the social medias. Some of you guys follow me on Twitter, and that's where I get a little bit more personal about what's going on in my life. And I shared this with y'all a little bit last week. And this is kind of really hard for me to talk about. However, I think that it is so important that we begin to have these types of conversations and topics within our community, not only because we are looked down upon and put on the back burner so much as CNAs, but also as women, and as ultimately as Black women, we don't take care of ourselves enough. We don't encourage and uplift and edify each other enough. So what I want to talk about today, or on this second part of the live, is how we deal with death. While it is an inevitable part of our careers and what we do and how we provide care to people, more often than not, a lot of us are GNA, CNAs, or geriatric, ow, I just bit my tongue, geriatric nursing assistants. Oh, it's bleeding. We are geriatric nursing assistants, work in hospice, or we are in a term or in a sense helping usher people into the end of their lives. I've held a lot of my patients during the peak of COVID. I held a lot of my patients in my arms and just rocked them back and forth so they wouldn't have to go alone, so they wouldn't feel like they died alone. Even before COVID, I remember the first time I performed CPR and the person did not resuscitate. Some people are like, that's a part of your job. That's what you're supposed to do. This, that, and the third. Maybe, but that's still a life that was lost in my arms. I have a tattoo right here on my arm that says, every day we live is a chance to give. And on the days that I lose my patients, my residents, I feel like I didn't do something enough. Like that one time I didn't answer the call. Like maybe if I would have answered it just a little bit quicker, maybe they would have still been here. But it's a part of life, right? That's what we do in nursing homes. That's what we do in assisted livings. That's what we do in hospice. Maybe if I just would have gave him one more extra snack, he would have still been here. Maybe if I would have changed that brief just a little bit sooner, he would not have went sepsis. Maybe. Man got a size of the cubitus ulcer this big in the back of his butt, on the bottom of his back. Right here, the cubitus ulcer right here. And you leaving him for hours in his own urine and feces. Maybe if you changed him, yes, maybe if you changed him that time, maybe he would not have gone sepsis and he might still be here a little bit longer. But one thing that I'm learning to do through this grieving and mourning process for myself is stop blaming myself. Like, I missed a lot of time away from my family being a travel CNA. I missed out on a lot of birthdays, graduations, unfortunately funerals. I missed out on seeing my godkids grow up. I have 4 beautiful, amazing godchildren. And unfortunately, I didn't get to see them grow up because I was on the road. There were different things that took place and transpired in my family that I wasn't able to be a part of or bear witness to because I was on the road. My dad got married, remarried, and I couldn't attend the wedding because I was on the road. It happens, you know? I'm grateful that I was able to be home when my grandfather passed. And I didn't really expect it to affect me. I didn't really expect to have a feeling, you know, because in our field, we could lose 3, 4, 5 patients a day. During the peak of COVID, I was losing on average 3 patients a day. Whether it was in the nursing home, in the LTAC, or in the hospital, or even when I was doing private duty, during COVID, I was losing patients in my arms, taking their last breaths in my arms. And that was my job, so I didn't feel it. I didn't go through the motions of grief. Okay, I gotta be strong for this person. Their family is not here. They're from Nova Scotia. All of their families in Nova Scotia. I'm the last person that's gonna have contact with this person. So I gotta be strong for them. I gotta bear it so they don't have to. And I rock them back and forth in my arms. God, your will be done. Send a peace wave over them. And they take their last breaths. I've been doing this for 10 years. So imagine doing this at 10 years old. I'm rocking somebody's grandmama into her last breaths. I'm holding her and she's taking her last breaths at 17, 18 years old. At 27, it wasn't until I did that for my grandfather that I realized, like, damn, black woman, you've been bearing some burdens I often ask myself, like, why do I wake up and I feel like I'm 60, 50 years old? Like, why do I feel like I've lived 2, 3 lifetimes at one time? Because I've been bearing a lot since 17, and that's just my career. That has nothing to do with my passions or my personal life. This is just the load, the burden for my career. And it wasn't until I'm on the other side, me personally, I was sitting in my grandfather's room at the hospice facility, and I noticed his respiration start to slow down. I hear that rattle. I see how his lips have sunken back into his mouth, how his eyes have sunken back into his face. I can hear and see the struggle it is for him to take each breath. I mean, at one point, he was giving me like 7 respirations per minute. This is my grandfather and my godfather. You know, I see the catheter, the Foley bag on the side of the bed. My granddaddy, not my granddaddy. Served in Vietnam. Taught me how to ride a bike 2 times. I used to play the violin and the saxophone, and when I would leave my instruments at home, him and my grandmother would fly back and forth across town trying to meet each other to give me my instruments so I could be on time for practice or the concert or whatever the case may be. When my own parents couldn't or wouldn't show up for my school events, my granddad was there. He taught me how to mow lawns and basic, home lawn care and things like that. And now he's not here. So I'm not just feeling the void. Like, I spent more time with that man than I've ever spent with my dad in my whole life. And there might be some family that sees this live. My dad might see this live and he'd be like, how dare you? But it's the God's honest truth. Like, both of my parents' fathers are deceased. Abraham Johnson was my grandfather. And so now it's a little bit hard to deal with the fact that he's not here, but I'm feeling the emotions that I should have dealt with when I was 17, rocking Granny to her last breath, somebody else Granny to her last breaths. When I was 18, 19 years old, caring for wounds of gunshot victims of people that were 22 and 23 years old. When I was 22 and 23 years old, holding mothers in the emergency room because their sons had been shot and killed. Their toddlers had been shot and killed. Drive-by bullet went straight up on the block, and I'm holding mothers as their 3 and 5-year-olds are no longer here. I'm 22, 23, I barely got out here into the world. But Miss Lady, I'm going to hold you. And I'm going to be strong for you because there's nobody else here for you. I'm going to bear it so you don't have to. At 27, I'm uncompartmentalizing all of that weeks before my birthday. And I know that it's important. It's imperative. This didn't just happen just by happen's chance. This wasn't a coincidence. There's a reason that I need to release all of this in order for me to become who I need to be in this next season. So while dealing with grief and mourning and death is a part of our careers, it's a part of what we do, it's not something that we can control. And while it is great to gain an ancestor, and if you believe in the afterlife and reincarnation and things like that, all of that is great. All of that is great. You know what I'm saying? but you got to deal with the mental. You got to make sure that you take time to deal with that, to really go through the motions of that. And I know that in our society, we don't get bereavement when we lose patients. If the person is not directly related to you, a blood relation, you don't get bereavement. So sometimes it can get hard. There were days that I lost a patient at the top of the shift. Like, I'm walking in the door. Oh, Mr. So-and-so, he on his way out. He might not make it. Keep a close eye on him. And it's 3 o'clock. And by 3:15, 3:30, Mr. So-and-so is gone. And at 5:30, Mrs. Jenkins is starting to show signs that her life value is decreasing as well. So 5:30, she's showing that. 7:30, she gone. When I come, she's doing even worse. At 7:30, when I come check her after dinner, by 9 o'clock rounds, Miss Johnson gone too. Come 11 o'clock, Miss Gangenheimer, Mr. and Mrs. Gangenheimer, both having heart attacks, and we got to send them both out. That's just one day. One day in a whole 10-year span. It's a little bit rough to deal with, and I know it's not something that we really want to talk about, that we really want to acknowledge. We always want to be happy and positive and uplifting and great vibes and everything like that. However, in order for me to continue to be this version of myself and better, I have to deal with some of those uncomfortable things on the inside. And it hurts. But it's necessary. It's necessary to my growth. It's necessary to my process. It's necessary ultimately for me, but for y'all as well. Because if I don't do those things, I can't get on here and give y'all this 32 kilowatt smile. I can't give y'all, hey cousins, hey Kim folks, what's good? It's your girl, the Real Life Plug. I can't tell you to be on time for every single cousin walk, car ride, sit down session, be on time for the Kim folk link up. Why? Because this is where it's at. If I don't get whole within myself first. And so next week, that's what I have to do, which is why we will not be meeting next week, because it is going to be time for me to physically accept that I have gained another ancestor, and my grandfather's time here is complete on this realm. So that's what I have to take care of next Wednesday, which is why we will not be meeting. However, feel free to come back, rewatch this week's live, another part of the Live Travel CNA Podcast. And I just want to thank y'all so much. I tell y'all all the time, right? I didn't talk the whole 20 minutes about my grandfather not being here, but thanking y'all is what's about to make these tears fall. And I can hear my friend in my head like, tighten up that voice. I'm trying to. So let me take this sip of water, okay? Give me 1 second. My YouTube channel, this channel, y'all have saved and changed my life. I feel like I tell y'all this every episode, but like, thank y'all. For real. It's only 580 of us on this cousin walk right now. And I'm telling y'all, at 580 cousins, y'all have changed my life. Y'all saved my life. Which is why even when I don't feel like posting, I post. Because it's 580 people. 581. People said with that subscription, when you hit that button, you want to see what else I can do. You want to see what else I'm going to create. There's an expectation. Y'all put a demand on what I supply, so I keep supplying it. And it's not easy. Some days are easier than others. Some days are just downright hard. If I didn't have 581 people demanding what I could supply, I wouldn't be in business. Y'all keep me in business. According to the YouTube regulations and standards and things like that, I'm technically not a full-time YouTuber yet. However, I eat, breathe, sleep, content creation, building and establishing my presence on social media platforms. I think I pridefully said there is no blueprint for this. There might not be a physical manuscript of a blueprint, but all of the YouTube influencers that came before me, all of the Instagram influencers, that's the blueprint. In order for me to grow and expand in my craft, I have to read, watch, divulge the information, the knowledge from my craft. How y'all think I make my thumbnails the way I make my thumbnails? Because I'm still at 580 subscribers in, 1,000 watch hours in, I'm still watching how to grow my YouTube channel, how to start a YouTube channel, how to grow fast, how to do this. I'm still watching videos on that. Your favorite YouTuber is probably still watching their old content to compare and contrast how much they've grown, where they come from, how much better at their craft they've gotten. And if I'm your favorite YouTuber, I'm still watching my old content, and we're almost a year in. We have grown so much in 1 year. It's mind-blowingly awesome. Like, I really said I wanted to be a YouTuber, a full-time YouTuber. And out of seven out of 7 days a week, I'm creating content for YouTube. I'm posting content on YouTube. My friends call me, what you doing? I'm editing content. I'm going to call you right back. Out of all the things that I have done in my life, out of all the places that I have gone in my life, never have my friends supported my endeavor as much as they support my YouTube channel. That's real to me, yo. That's confirmation for me that I'm doing the right thing. And I'm talking to y'all right now, but I'm really encouraging myself. Because there are so many times I'm just like, bro, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? I should just give up, be regular, go back to work a regular job, save up some money, take vacations, wear designer, and stunt through my city. I should just be regular. I tried that. It almost took me out. It almost put me in a sunken place. But just in the nick of time, God snatched me up. Said, come here, dummy. Let me remind you what you're made for. Let me remind you that I didn't put you through all that I put you through for you to be regular. Regular people don't go through the things that you're going through. Regular people don't go through what you went through. Regular people give up. One thing I ain't gonna do is give up. I might change the bag. I might change the lanes. I might change the name. But the hustle gonna stay the same because it's in me and it's not on me. And once you start to elevate and you notice that about yourself, can nobody tell you nothing about you. I mean, you know, obviously constructive criticism, how to grow and things like that. Like, don't be prideful. Don't be prideful. But they can't tell you about you because you took that time to yourself to be secluded, maybe even isolated, to figure out what is in me that I need to get out to become the better, best version of myself. And when you release that, when you put that demand on your atmosphere that you only want the best for yourself, you can hit them with a cousins, kinfolk, What's good? It's your girl, the Real Life Plug, and I'm back with another episode for the Live Travel CNA Podcast. If you're new here, if you made it all the way through this live, please do me a favor. Go ahead and smash that thumbs up button, click that subscribe button, and turn those post notifications on so you can be on time for every single cousin walk, every single car ride, every single sit down session. Be on time for the kinfolk link up. Why? Because this is where it's at, and this is where you want to be. That happiness, that joy, that energy, after I just spent 20 minutes trying to hold back tears, that's pure. That's real. That's genuine. That's not fake. Most people dealing with what I'm dealing with right now, they would have been like, I'm about to take a break from social media. I'm not doing this. I quit. This is too much. It's too hard. I just want to be sad and in my feelings. That was almost me today. I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm not even going to hold you. That was almost me today. Like, I don't really be getting a lot of views while I'm live, so I might as well just not even do this shit today. I might as well just go ahead and chill. I might as well just not even do it for real, and just make up an excuse. I got on this live. I took my shower. I did my makeup. I got dressed in 45 minutes. It typically takes me an hour and a half to get ready for a live. And when I got ready in 45 minutes, I'm talking about at 2:59, I was like, whoa. That I'm supposed to be on this camera. As much as I could have cried, gave up, ended the live. I was like, all right, I'm going to get on the live. I'm going to just be live for like 15 minutes, shoot through it real fast, say what I got to say, and I'm going to hop off of there because I don't even feel like it. Like, I'm sad, yo. We about to bury my grandfather 10 days before my birthday. Like, what? Taxes still ain't dropped yet. Got a whole lot of other personal things going on. Like, I don't even feel like I could be live in front of these people and talk about what I need to talk about. I'm ready in 45 minutes. And I've been on this live with y'all for an hour. You have to push through those things sometimes. And when I get off this live with y'all, listen to some music. Pour me up a glass of champagne. Chill. Really go through how I was feeling during the live. What were those moments that made me feel like, okay, I want to shed a tear, but I'm not going to do it right now? What was that moment? What were you feeling in that moment? I didn't tell y'all. I didn't start the live with, yeah, because my grandfather died. I ain't about to do this, and this is all I got to say. Da, 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 da. And I waited till the end to tell you, to show you how you push through and persevere through things that make you feel uncomfortable, but you also take time to acknowledge the things that are going on in your life, the things that are making you feel a type of way. You might not be able to do it while you rocking Granny back and forth in your arms as she take her last arms. You might not be able to do it while you performing CPR. You might not be able to do it while you holding somebody's baby because their mama just got shot by a drive-by bullet, or the baby, or the dad was beating on him, but you just holding this 3 to 5 year old baby that's crying, wailing as they push their mother away on the stretcher outside of the trauma unit. You might not be able to take time for yourself in that moment and be like, yeah, this is what I'm feeling. But when you get off work, or maybe on your lunch break, you take that time. Journal. You may write it in your notes. You might want to write a song, do a dance, hit the gym, whatever the case may be. Whatever it is that you need to do in order to process and feel those emotions from that day, that is what you need to do. Otherwise, you'll end up like me, 10 years in the game, uncompartmentalizing 10 years worth of grief and death and mourning that I should have done. While the grieving process is so long. One day you're good, one day you're not. You can be perfectly fine all day long. You hear a song, and boom, a memory flash up in your head, and boom, it's like you just found out all over again. And when you're working in the field and you lose a patient, try your hardest to take that time, even if it's 15, 20, 30 minutes, to feel those emotions, to journal that, to acknowledge those emotions. and move forward in grace. While I have been this is why, full circle moment, back to how to prepare and pack for a travel assignment. That's why I said in the beginning of the live, whatever your lifestyle is consistent of right now, if you're a gym rat, if you like to work out, if that's what you do before work, after work to keep your mental sanity, you need to take a travel assignment that has a gym or access to a gym that you can use so that way you can continue to keep up your mental health regimen. Maybe you like retail therapy. Maybe you'll work 80 hours in a week so that way you can spend 60 hours worth of your check in the store. Make sure there's somewhere for you to be able to do that. Or maybe you love self-love and you love to get your hair done, nails done, toes done, massages, facials. Make sure that when you take your travel assignment, there's a way for you to continue that regimen. It might not necessarily be you being able to go to a nail salon or a hair salon and sit for hours and pamper yourself, but maybe you do your own nails now. Maybe you do your own hair now. You take that time to yourself the same way you would if you were going to a salon. My advice for preparing and packing for a CNA travel assignment. Do what you love. Do what makes you happy. Figure out how to capitalize on it. And don't ever give up on the pursuit of your dreams. If it is something that you really, I thought my lips was getting white. If it is something that you really and truly want, pursue it with such an intensity and a fervency and a passion that even if a hater says something, they couldn't stop you from pursuing it. I was sexually assaulted 3 times by 3 different people at the workplace, by residents and staff members. And I let it stop me from being a CNA for a long time, from even wanting to practice or provide care for people. But because I love what I do, because I'm a CNA, because of passion and the need for fulfillment, I switched the bag up on them. I changed lanes on them. All right, I got out of the Cna CNA nursing home hospital and I got into post-op recovery. I was doing that for a while. And something transpired there that it took away the joy, it took away the fun from that. So then I just came back into my content creator lane, and I've been creating content about all of the things that I've done, the places I've been, the things that I've seen, encountered. I noticed that, hey, there's not a lot of information on how to be a travel CNA out here, and if it is, it's not really substance, it's not really fulfilling, because nobody wants to give away this information. People just want to keep the money to themselves. It's a peak of COVID, people getting these high contracts. Nobody wants to give out this information. I'm going to give it out. And I'm 580 cousins into this walk. My grandfather's passing is what got me back into the field. Because I'm sitting in the house all day by myself. Unless I have to go outside and create content and meet with a client or something like that, I'm not really going outside. I had to go back to what makes me happy. Taking care of geriatric people does something for my soul that I can't explain. It just fills me up. It expands me. I love it. It just makes me feel like I'm fulfilling life, like I'm adding to the productivity of society. And the very thing that broke me, the year that I was assaulted, the last assault took place, that thing broke me so bad. I was so depressed, but I couldn't even be depressed in that moment because I'm an adult. I still got things I got to take care of. The very thing that ran me away from the field is the same thing that called me back to it. People ask, how do you know what your passion is? How are you able to find your purpose? How are you able to do the things that you do? Because I took some time to myself to figure out for myself who I am for myself. It's part of the reason why I'm single. Because I'm figuring out who I am. I'm constantly growing, evolving, and changing. I just realized a little while ago, you know what? I don't like Brussels sprouts. That's a lie. I can't remember what I realized. Cereal. I don't really like cereal. I don't. I like the allure of being an adult now. And if I want to buy 5 boxes of cereal and have them all open at the same time, I can do that. If I want to buy 3 different types of juices and have them open and drink out the carton because I live by myself, I'm a single woman, I can do that. But I don't really like juice and I don't really like cereal. So why do I buy it? Because I can. But what do I eat it? No, it usually ends up going to waste. What do I always have? Water, alkaline water, fruit, vegetables. I couldn't figure that out when I was living. No shade, no tea, no disrespect to anybody that I've ever lived with. This is an example. I couldn't figure out what I did and did not like and what I didn't need to buy for groceries because I was living with other people who also had all of their things in the refrigerators and in the cabinets too. So there was no clear vision, no clear focus on, okay, I like this, or am I just trying it? Or am I just buying it because the other people in my house like it? Or am I buying it to replace it because I used somebody else's? Or do I really like it? Being a CNA for me is like having water in my house. Alkaline water. This is not alkaline water. I know that. But it's like having alkaline water bottled Essentia. It's like having apples, strawberries, mangoes, cherries. It just makes sense. Being a CNA makes sense for me. I could do it with my eyes closed, hands tied behind my back. I could do it off 2 hours sleep, no hours sleep. I love being a CNA. Certain point in CNA or being a CNA that you cannot get any higher than what you are. You can't be any more than a CNA unless you become an LPN or you expand or grow your education in that manner. You climb up the nursing ladder. I don't aspire to move any further in nursing, in the nursing field, which is why I also co-run CAT Med Staff with my team, which is why I'm also a content creator. Most of my content is centered around nursing and travel nursing and how to navigate the travel world. Still nursing, still helping people, still enhancing lives, still my passion, my purpose pursued. So, if you like this type of content, please make sure you like, give your girl that thumbs up, comment, and subscribe because we are still on the road to 1K. And all I ask of my YouTube cousins for my birthday, because we've already accomplished 1,000 watch hours, is just the 1,000 subscribers. And to help me see, meet, and party with Kaylin for real at the Never Lose You tour in Houston. Tour actually starts today, and I think the first show is in Atlanta. Hey. Anyway, that's pretty much all that I want for my birthday besides continued healthy life, continued elevated, prosperous, and beneficial and profitable success, and to continue to grow and expand across the social media platforms as your favorite influencer. I won't even put nursing, I won't put nothing on that as your favorite influencer. That's why I'm the real life plug, because I do so much. I'm tapped into so many more things than just nursing. So if you want to see more nursing related content or what else I do besides this, please make sure you tap in by smashing that subscribe button. And I'll see you the week after next. Peace, love, and blessings. We still out, y'all.